Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is Pride is again starting to collapse. It's a gift that keeps on coming or keeps on giving rather, because it's super close to June, and we have about less than a month away before it actually hits, and already brands are closing it. Now, I did the video about this before, but it seems to be escalating here. It seems the closer we get to June, it seems the closer that we have to see that people are not wanting to do private events or even DEI. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing, and we're going to get straight to the end of this. So what we have here. Big brand from Washington Post says big brands distance themselves from pride events and amid DEI rollback. Marty Zuniga, who helps organize Pride Fest in St. Louis, one of the Midwest's biggest LGBTQ plus celebrations, could tell by January that this season would be unlike any he's seen. That's when Zuniga noticed that corporate contacts weren't answering his emails. In the weeks that followed, longtime partners like Anheuser-Busch declined to sponsor this year's two-day festival, while others slashed donations, leaving him with a massive gap in his budget. Well, when you try to put in that trans individual, right? This guy that was pretending to be a female, and nobody wanted, to buy the beer because of that. Yeah, you probably don't want any more of this woke BS as your marketing ploy, because this would end your company forever. So it makes a lot of sense of why you wouldn't want to do that. Maybe next time you will know to just not do that, which I don't even know if you guys are even doing well anymore. Says, meanwhile, he told the Washington Post several companies willing to commit financially also asked him to keep their names out of it. Their rationale was consistent. Zuniga said, "We still want to support you, but we can't scream it from the rafters." Amid the Trump administration's targeting of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, companies are distancing themselves from Pride, a celebration of queer identity that began in the 1970s following the Stonewall uprising and now spans scores of cities across the globe. Well, the thing is here, and what we have is that it's not really just that. It's more along the lines of Dr. Money, and I forgot this other guy's name, that actually coined this type of BS. And this was what spawned a lot of this BS, this type of stuff in the first place, which, again, is all insanity here. Of course, if you know the Dr. Money story, it wouldn't be too surprising for you guys to know what is the case there with that situation. So, yeah, that's a lot to do with Dr. Money, and that man is what we call a child grabber and a monster. Intent on staying out of the government's crosshairs, big brands, are backing away from LGBT celebrations of all sizes as part of a broader rollback of diversity inclusion, aka DEI efforts, leaving organizers from coast to coast, including for marquee events in San Francisco, New York, and the Midwest, which budget shortfalls at a time when most are anticipating higher turnout, as well as facing heightened safety and logistical challenges. Now, the safety is kind of absurd. In my opinion, I don't think you guys are risking any safety whatsoever. You guys are just saying that to try to play onto the emotional tug pulls of some people to where, like, oh, we're going to be danger. No, I don't see anybody that's going to these pride events that want to injure you, hurt you, etc. I don't see this going on at all. But it's the matter of fact is that, oh man, I apologize. Jesus, what's wrong with me? Okay. It's just a matter of the fact that that companies are not supporting your stuff. You just try to cater to the point that people are going to be aggressive when I haven't seen anybody be aggressive towards these people outside of the fact if they actually affected these other people, normal people's lives. Thus, pride organizers say they're worried the administration's antipathy toward transgender people and drag performers could make their events a magnet for hate against the broader LGBT community. Again, trying to appeal to emotional play here. We don't play that anymore. Such crimes were already on the rise before President Trump returned to office in January. FBI data shows with 1 in 5 hate crimes motivated by LGBT plus bias. What do you mean by that? Because you guys have it to where hate crimes could be considered calling a female a male when they're trans or whatever, which you would consider that a hate crime. Or you say like they can't use a bathroom and that would be considered a hate crime. So like I don't care what you guys consider a hate crime because your guys' level of hate crimes or what have you is completely stupid. It makes no merit. It means nothing. Like calling a black guy maybe the N word and then not liking him because he's black. Now that's a hate crime. Or maybe not allowing a black person into their residence or home or etc. because of the color of their skin. That is a hate crime. That is what we consider a hate crime. Not because you just say, oh, well, I don't believe you're a female, or because you can't go into the female bathrooms or male bathrooms, etc. That is not what we consider a hate crime. That's not a hate crime. That's just you being stupid. So obviously it's going to inflate things what you guys deem as a hate crime. No, it's just stupid. Not only are we losing sponsorship dollars, we're having to spend way more on security. Yeah, because in your lunacy here, and your psychoticness, you guys assume that there's going to be a lot more hate crimes when there is not going to be any hate crimes. You have this dumb assumption that there will be, but there isn't going to be. Said Zuniga, president of the nonprofit Pride Street St. Louis. This year's Pride Fest will be encircled by 6-foot fencing, and Zuniga rented a nearby parking garage simply so he could shut it down. He said he wanted to ensure it could not be used as a vantage from which could to inflict violence on festival goers. It's very scary times. Okay. I don't see how this is not an issue. Okay, you have more risk of holding a Trump event or any or a conservative event or what have you. You have more risk of doing that than setting up any kind of pride event whatsoever. Like let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Somebody come down to California and plan a Trump rally and then a Trump rally and a Pride rally very close to each other. Let's see who acts the most violent, because I guarantee you I know who is going to be. The Pride pullbacks come as companies reassess the extent to which they want to weigh in on social issues, said Luke Hartig, who counsels Fortune 500 companies and other large employers as president of Gravity Research, with many opting to focus on matters strictly related to their business and amid intensifying legal and political scrutiny on DEI programs. Firms are concerned about attracting government scrutiny and attention from conservative activists such as Robbie Starbuck, whose online campaigns have presented brands such as Boeing, Caterpillar, Toyota, Molson Coors, and Tractor Supply to revise their DEI policies. Good, because DEI policies are inherently racist. We don't need to have DEI policies. Pride has become a particular point of anxiety in the past couple of years. Hartig said, as executive took notice of how some brands' efforts to embrace the LGBTQ plus community backfired. There was Bud Light's short-lived partnership with trans comedian and influencer Dylan Mulvaney in 2023, which was met with vitriol from some consumers who dumped cans of Bud Light and called for a boycott of a parent company, Anheuser-Busch, a longtime partner of GLAAD and the LGBTQ plus advocacy group. Yeah, exactly. So you guys got your crumpets. Nobody likes Pride anymore. It's annoying. And when you do this Pride stuff again in June, which it seems to be collapsing and failing, it's not going to go well, right? It's going to be a huge issue for you guys. So, again, we have this here from the Wall Street Journal saying, big marketers like Mastercard, PepsiCo, and Nissan are rethinking Pride marketing. Says here that Mastercard isn't renewing its corporate sponsorship of the New York City Pride March, the city's annual march for LGBTQ rights for 2025. The financial services giant has supported Heritage of Pride, the nonprofit group that organizes the New York March and other LGBTQ events for around a decade, serving as a top-level platinum sponsor and preferred payment partner for the past several years. Its decision puts it among a group of NYC Pride sponsors that are not returning this year. Other include soda and snack marketer PepsiCo, automaker, Nissan, banking giant Citi, and consulting firm PricewaterhouseCoopers. Most have not opted out of all Pride event activities in the U.S. Some will maintain a paid presence at NYC Pride through appearances, such as Brandon Booth, for example, while others are sponsoring smaller Pride marches in other cities or investing in private employee-focused events instead. Well, again, not a lot of people are actually tired of a lot of your guys' protests or Pride in general. There was a video showing where people were throwing food and other stuff at a protest from maybe atop of the buildings in New York, and people were tired of these people. It's not really too surprising on what's going on here and how people are getting sick and tired. If people in New York are getting sick and tired of this pride BS, then God forbid anybody else that is not within these very far left and woke cities. Plain and simple. And it goes on here that Mastercard said it would still participate in the June New York City March as well as other events. Mastercard is a long-standing supporter of any communities which our employees are members, including the alphabet community globally. Nissan's decision not to renew came as an automaker is reviewing all its marketing and sales spending, according to a spokesperson. Yeah, because nobody wants to do this. The larger pullback, however, is the latest sign of a chillier climate for corporate pride sponsorships this year. Other pride events in recent weeks have lost key sponsors, including Anheuser-Busch in St. Louis and Diageo in San Francisco. Diageo will sponsor other U.S. pride events this year through a smartphone Pro brand, according to a spokesman. AB and Bev declined to comment. Yeah, so what we have here is that a lot of these companies are canceling pride, removing things, and I love to see it. We do not need these companies anymore, all right? We do not need these companies to be functioning or be going anywhere else. If you are gay, if you are trans, if you are any of these things or what have you, then by all means be that. But for the love of all that is holy, do not shove it in our faces. I do not shove me being straight into your face. Why would I? I do not need to have pride in being straight. I'm just straight. That's it. That is the way it is. I don't care. I don't care that you're gay. I don't care that you're trans. But if you're going to yell to the rooftops and say, I'm trans, look at me. Oh, you can't, if you don't say what my pronouns are, well, guess what? I hate you. You're a racist. You're a homophobe. You're a transphobe. I hate you. If you go and do that BS, why in any regard would I care about you or care anything what you do at all? I would want you gone. And I can't stand it. It's the same thing to where I cannot stand Black History Month, and I can't stand any History Month that's glorifying or trying to do anything for a certain race or a group of people. That's insanity to me. Why would I care? So don't put in my face, stop doing this stuff, and everybody will hunky-dory happy. But if you keep on shoving it in their faces, more people are going to get angry and more going to get pissed off. I have said this multiple times before, that if you keep pushing these things down people's throats, eventually people will get angry, and eventually people are going to backlash. And guess what's happening? It's happening to you. And now, pride and everything else is down tremendously because of the way you guys act and do your stuff. So I don't feel bad for any of you guys. You guys had it for yourselves. You get to deal with the maker that you've caused, and that's just it. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, share. As always, take care, my friends.